Hi everybody, it's Ms.Salazar and welcome to Grammar. So I'm going to explain to you how to identify the subject of a sentence and the verbs. Now remember that the subject of a sentence is who the sentence is talking about or what the sentence is talking about. And the verb is always going to be the action. So it's easier to find the verb first in a sentence than the subject. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to read each of these sentences and then I'm going to find the verb and I'm going to write it down. And then once I find the verb, I'm going to find the subject. So let's see. Sentence number 1 says, Sally went to the beach for her birthday. So where is the verb? The verb is an action. Sally went to the beach. Went. Okay, so went is a verb. To is not a verb. The beach, that's not a verb. For her birthday. Nope, that's not a verb either. Went is the verb. So I'm going to write went. Went. So went is definitely the verb. I'm going to write V for verb. V for verb. Now, the subject of the sentence is who the sentence is talking about. Also, the subject of a sentence is who is the actor, who is going to the beach, who. So in this case, it's going to be Sally. So Sally is going to be my subject. So I'm going to write Sally and I'm going to write S for subject. Now I'm going to do the other sentence. I think this game is boring. So the verb of the sentence, I'm going to find first the verb. I think this game is boring. Think is going to be my verb. Why? Because think is an action, but it's a mental action. Remember about the types of verbs that I told you guys last week? That we have physical verbs like walking and running and swimming and jumping and climbing and all those stuff, but we also have mental verbs like think. So think is a verb. So I'm going to write think. There you go. And I'm going to write the word, or I'm going to write the letter V for verb. And now I need to find the subject. So who is thinking? Who is doing the thinking? I am. I think this game is boring. I'm the one doing the thinking. So I is going to be the subject, and I is a pronoun. And we also talked about that last week. I is a subject pronoun, and a subject pronoun is going to replace the subject of the sentence. So instead of naming a person, instead of saying Mario or Luigi, I'm just using the pronoun I to substitute that name. So I'm using the pronoun I, and that is my subject. I think this game is boring. I'm the one doing the thinking. I am the subject. Now let's do sentence number 3. The owl makes a very creepy sound at night. Okay, so let me find my verb. The owl makes a very creepy sound at night. Okay, so the owl is not a verb, right? It doesn't indicate action. A very creepy sound. No, it's just describing the sound. It's not giving me any action. At night. No, it's not giving me any action. It's telling me when the owl makes the creepy sound. Well, at night, but it's not giving me any action. It's going to be makes. Makes. The owl makes a sound. When you're making something, that is an action. You're making something. So I'm going to write makes. There you go. So makes is definitely going to be my verb. I'm going to write V for verb. And now the subject of the sentence is who the sentence is talking about. Who makes the very creepy sound at night? The owl. The owl is the one that makes that very creepy sound at night. So that is my subject. S for subject. And now I'm going to do the last sentence. Godzilla knocked King Kong out for a few minutes. Okay, so where is my verb? First, I'm going to find the verb. It's a lot easier to do that first. So knocked, okay. Knocked is when you're gonna when you hit something and it falls to the ground and like literally stays there when it knocks you out. So knocked is definitely a verb. It has ed at the end because it's in the past tense. This already happened. Knocked. So Godzilla knocked King Kong out for a few minutes. So knocked is definitely going to be my verb. There you go. And I'm going to write the V for verb. And now, who knocked King Kong out for a few minutes? Who? Who knocked King Kong out? Godzilla did, so that is my subject. Godzilla, and I'm going to write the S for subject. So remember, something that might be a lot easier for you is to always find the verb and then you find the subject. And the subject is always going to be who the sentence is talking about. And you can always ask yourself, who is doing the action in the sentence? For example, who knocked King Kong out? Well, Godzilla did. Who makes a very creepy sound at night? The owl. Who thinks the game is boring? I do. Who went to the beach for her birthday? Sally did. You see? You can make that question. You can ask who is doing the action, and the answer is always going to be the subject. So I hope that you guys understand. But if you guys don't, and if you have any questions concerning the assessment, then let me know. Bye, everybody.